I was at the airport and this woman came up to me and looked right at me and she goes, "Excuse me, are you Rob Ford, Mayor of Toronto?" Well, does every fat guy look the same in Canada? And I know girls like to laugh, right, girls? The girls like to laugh. Number one thing they say they like in a man is a man that makes them laugh. True? Yeah. Well, be careful what you wish for. Because I think you need a sense of humor to be in any relationship, marriage, partnership, whatever it is. I'm a considerate husband. Considerate. I let my wife sleep in the morning, but I get hungry. I need toast. Not 2 pieces, the whole loaf. I go in the kitchen, put the loaf in the oven. And my favorite topping on my toast is that chocolate hazelnut Nutella. You like Nutella, huh? Isn't that good? Nutella. But I get bored. So I take my fingers into the Nutella, go into the bedroom where my wife is sleeping. I woke her up, I said, "Honey, we're out of toilet paper again." "Don't worry, I got this." She's like, "You're disgusting." Look at the girls, that's disgusting. Look at the guys, I'm gonna do that when I go home. That is so cool. And that's what I'm saying, that's what it is. Girl, you know what I realized? Girls are always thinking. You're thinkers. You're always thinking. You're here looking at me, but there's a hamster in a wheel right now. Did I do the laundry? Am I fat? Why do I hate my dad? All kinds of stuff happening right now. Right now. Guys are different. This is what the guys are doing right now at the show. Good show, huh? Yeah. Want a beer? Yeah. Girls, you get in a relationship, what do girls think of right away? Girls get in a relationship, what do they think of? The ring. The ring, the precious. Give me the ring. I need the ring. I need the precious. You become Spiegelers. I need the ring. The ring. You're psycho. I heard what she wanted. Circle cut diamond Tiffany setting. I went and got it. It's not that we buy you the ring. There's got to be a story that goes with the ring. Because she'll go show her friends and family. Look, I got engaged. Oh. How did he propose? What do you women want? Well, he took me to Narnia. Yeah. And then we rode around on a unicorn eating chocolate-covered strawberries. And then we ended up on a marshmallow beach and we made love. It's so romantic. Ladies, take the ring and shut up. I could have bought rims for my Charger. But every man has romance, right?
All right, everybody.
I wonder if every man that still has romance after 9 months of COVID.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another Quarantine Night at Dirty Four podcast. I'm Claudio Capri, Joy Laflamme, and tonight we have an amazing guest with us. We have Mr. Angelo Tsarouchas. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Good.
I feel like I'm interviewing with 2 hockey players, Claudio Laflamme and Joy for La Canadien. Playing the back now.
Man, so just before we continue, hello Jess, hello Rahul, hello Mel, and before we continue, folks, if you want to like, share, and subscribe this page, and also follow Angelo Tsarouchas on Instagram, go ahead and do it. Thank you, Angelo, for tonight. So, Angelo,
yes.
Very cliche question. What got you into comedy?
Probably didn't get enough attention from my parents. No, I don't know what that. You know what? It's a really. It sounds like a cliche question, but the reality is I was always attracted to the empowerment of stand-up. And this happened in high school, you know. I mean, think about it. I remember there was a variety show. 'Cause remember, I'm from Montreal, born in Montreal, but then my parents tortured me and they moved to Ottawa.
Oh,
So we ended up living there for a while. And I remember it was a variety show. And I was always encaptured by, by stand-up comedy. And I used to listen to old comedians and then listen to their albums and stuff at night. And once in high school, it was like my friends said, Andrew, you're always making jokes. Why don't you just do the show? And that honestly was the night I got hooked. I did it, and I was hooked after that. And it's one of those things that I've tried to a few times get away from, but I was never able to successfully do that. I just kept doing it, and now I make a living at it miraculously. Still make a living at it. So I've gotten to travel around the world. I've done specials in different countries, and it's weird. It's one of those things. When you ask somebody, it's like, it wasn't for money. It was really for the fact I just love doing it, and I still love doing it. There's something powerful about it when you connect with people. It really is.
Nice, good, awesome. But because from what we've seen here was from Just for Laughs and just
yes.
So obviously, because I want to also talk a little bit about the acting that you've been in a few films like Spiro Sar, The Recruit, Cinderella Man. So how is it, like going from stand-up comedy and going into acting? Is it is it obviously it's a different world that you have to portray? How do you do it?
Well, here's the difference, guys.
Mm-hmm.
When you do stand-up comedy, you get an immediate response from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So if you tell a joke or a story or a situation, they respond immediately.
Yeah.
Acting's a different animal.
Yeah.
You have to be aware of the environment and the type of role you're playing. Right now, I think it's in Canada, it's on Rogers On Demand or Bell. There's a movie I did called His Master's Voice. And it just came out like a month ago. Yeah. And I play a Michael Moore. It's a complicated plot about a Hungarian scientist who goes missing on a very covert American top secret experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy in Hungary is searching for his father. And I play like a Michael Moore guy who's kind of like a conspiracist, always exploiting things. But then it turns out that something actually is really true. Mm-hmm. So now I got to move myself from the character I am.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know it sounds technical. So I did a film called Fred and Vinny where I played the guy named Vinny, who is the guy that says, hey, can I stay at your house for 2 weeks? And then 8 months later, I'm still there. We all know a guy like that, right?
That was a good movie, actually. I loved it.
Thanks. But the thing is, in that movie, I had to play every stereotype that wasn't my personality.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a person who's withdrawn from society. He's an agoraphobe, scared of people and situations where I'm the opposite. So I think the transition is when I'm on stage and it's live, I get an immediate response, as you saw earlier in the clip at Place des Arts, wherever we did that show.
Yeah.
And then when you're in a studio or a place and you're playing this guy, it's you, the camera, the director, and the supporting cast.
Yeah.
So you really have to rely on your inner self to come up. You have to believe you're that guy and just be that person.
Yeah.
That's the difference between one and the other.
Oh, for sure. No.
And then hopefully it goes to a film festival. We were lucky with Fred and Vinny who won all these festivals, but you never know. Sometimes you do something and it's good, and sometimes you do something and it's shit. So
because with stand-up, you have, like you said, you have an immediate response. But when you're playing a movie, it's like the response you have to wait for a year, a month before you get to a premiere, and then you see yourself at the screen, and then you watch aside just to see how people react to you seeing you in the screen, and you can't adjust anything. Like it's done. It's things you can adjust. Yeah.
That's right, Joey. You're right, Joey. It's Once it's done, it's done. And most performers, I wouldn't use the word insecure, but you never know for sure. I've worked with many people, and I think they still have that element of. That's why a lot of people don't watch their work.
Yeah.
You've heard that, because they don't watch it because they're like, I don't know, it's weird. Like Fred Stoller didn't want to watch the film.
Huh.
And, we saw the screening for the cast and crew, but he didn't want to watch it with an audience.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because you're just kind of like, I don't know. It's a weird thing to go watch yourself play another person.
Oh yeah. No, actually, no. The same thing with me because when I was in Mafia Inc., I was an extra, and then I'm like, I went to go see with friends, and I'm like, when I was filming it while I was an extra, but still, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm curious what the reaction is going to be. And then, like, when I was watching the film with a few friends, I was sweating. I'm like, oh, fuck. Even if I was an extra, like, you still see my face for, like, a few seconds in a few scenes. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm cringing. I'm cringing. And then when people saw me, like, hey, look, it's Claudio. I'm like, no, I can't. But then,
even though you were just eating spaghetti while putting Parmesan cheese, the rolls.
Exactly. But it's weird. But at the same time, it's fun.
But by the way, Claudio, my friends were in that film. Robert Corleone was in it.
Yeah,
played himself basically.
Yeah,
and Raphael Patardi, Pascal Raphael. Yeah. He played the cop, I think, and he's in Atlanta right now shooting a massive film called Red Notice with The Rock, Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, and Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah, no.
So he's in a huge film. So I got a lot of friends. Bruno Rosato's a producer. They're all friends of mine. And I heard it premiered at the Palm Springs Film Festival here in California.
Yeah, it did.
I never got a chance to see it yet, but I want to watch. I heard it's pretty good. So congrats to you guys for doing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I was an extra, but you know what? Like,
doesn't matter. Sure.
Roll's the roll, man.
But I'm like, you know what? Like Montreal finally, like when you're watching Mafia Inc., it's a Montreal awesome, strong story. But now, like,
there was no acting. It was just you guys hanging out.
Yeah, I know. And also I saw also Ali Hassan who came up. I'm like, oh man, Ali Hassan's here. I'm like, wait, what?
There's no acting. You go to RDP or St. Leonardo.
I know. You have random.
Take the camera and walk around. It's the same thing.
Oh man, exactly. So this is gonna be another cliche question here. So how do you come up, like with jokes? Like what is your process of writing writing your material for stand-up?
Well, it depends where you are in your life, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're single, you're gonna more than likely talk about dating, or I never had to pick up a woman on Tinder or Plenty of Fish, but I know my friends have their phones out and they're swiping left and right, whatever. That's how the kids do it now. Yeah. But and now I'm married. I have a daughter and a wife, and think of it this way: if you're making comedy, it's like making a pizza, right? So my parents are Greek immigrants. They moved to Montreal. Then we moved to Ottawa. Then they moved back to Montreal. I was married once in Canada. I got divorced, lost everything. Then I moved to Toronto. I started working there. Then I moved to England. I'm living in London for 2 years. Then I moved to Los Angeles. I was up for a sitcom. Then I met my wife, who's Armenian. I fall in love with this girl, and now we have a bambino. And now I have married a woman who I discovered is a Disney-holic. So just what I told you wasn't comedy. That's my life, right? So imagine, out of all of that, guys, interject the stories. And I find what's funnier now, at this point in my life, I think, when you share stories with people like-minded or who understand, all those concepts of travel, of family, of duty, insanity. I'm looking down 9 months. We've been having COVID. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter if you're in Montreal, Los Angeles, Melbourne, or London. We're all going through the same shit.
Oh, absolutely.
So if I write a joke, Claudio, about something that happened during COVID, I'll give an example. The other day, we're having lunch. We're eating lunch, and while eating lunch, we're talking about what we're going to eat tomorrow for dinner. So it's like you're eating, and you're like, hey, you're eating? What are we eating tomorrow? Well, we're eating now. Yeah, but what about tomorrow? What are we eating tomorrow? Well, wait till tomorrow. But and everybody can identify with that because we're all kind of in the same situation. You can't really go out. You can't go to the movies.
Absolutely.
You can't travel, so it's eating.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you ever adapt your type of comedy depending? Because I know that you've been around a lot and you have played in front of different type of crowd. Do you ever adapt what you do considering the crowd, or you just do your stuff, whatever the type of crowd you're having?
Well, put it this way. I wasn't able. I was supposed to go to Australia this year. So then Australia has the largest Greek population outside of Greece. So Australians grew up very much like we did in Canada, right?
Okay.
Whether you're French Canadian, Italian Canadian, Greek, they kind of grew up with the same sensitivity. So I find when I go there, they really connect with that type of comedy. Having said that, it's a good question because I was supposed to be in London and England and then Ireland, then Switzerland, then Greece, then Cyprus, then the Middle East. So I will adapt the storylines accordingly. Now, going to Greece, although I'm fluent in Greek, I'm not perfect. So I will tell the audience in Greece, I speak Greek the way you speak English. So you don't make fun of me because the Greeks are like Italians. They'll make fun of you. Man, the guy talks like he's, special needs. And it's like, no. And I think what happens is that if I go to the Middle East, which is interesting, Joey, because if I'm in the Middle East, you can't talk about sex.
Fuck. Why not?
About religion, sex, religion, or drugs.
Fuck.
Which for a comedian is like, cutting off our limbs.
Yeah.
So what I find I do with them is I'll make it more personal with the stories. So they almost want to hear. I find what works best in those situations is you're telling the audience what's going on in your life that they, that they can connect to.
Okay.
Like right away you saw, like I have on the back of my wall a Guy Lafleur sweater, and I have a Carey Price a little doll that my sister sent me. So what happens? We're Montrealers right away. We made that connection, right?
Yeah.
So I can talk about Montreal, because people say, "Oh, why do you have that?" Well, that's my team. I'm from there. Oh, or I still wear this in LA sometimes, and people don't realize I got an Expos hat.
Oh shit!
So it's funny, guys. In LA, a lot of people still wear Expo hats, and when sometimes I work on cruise ships, and the thing about the Expos is in America, they all know this logo.
Oh,
because
really?
for years, the Expos were playing all over the United States, so they know this. So I'll be on a ship, and then the guy will come up to me and go, "Hey, that's Montreal Expos hat?" Yeah. He goes, "I'm from Boston. I'm from Chicago. I'm from Detroit." And they know. So sometimes in certain areas, you try to find commonality. And that's how you start the conversation. So if I know I can find something that they know, that I know, we know, I'll go on that and then talk about it. And then that always it helps. You really need to have a lot of knowledge.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Of things,
Yeah. Okay. That's holy shit. Okay.
That one did, eh?
No, because I'm really starstruck right now. Because Angelo, I don't want to sound like a suck, but
hey, Claudio, you're the one that was in Mafia Inc., not me.
Yeah, I'm the one that should be impressed. Look at him; he's starstruck too by Mafia Inc. That scene where he eats pasta, man. You should have won an Oscar for that.
No, but honestly, I love. No, but honestly, no, because the reason why I'm starstruck is because I've seen. I mean, first I watched you in The Art of War with Wesley Snipes.
Right.
And then, as I mentioned, it was The Recruit. And then it was Speedo Sar, which I mean, I followed Frank Spadone, and from that, I'm like, holy shit. Who's this Greek guy? And then I looked you, and then you were in The Indian Detective, and you also, comedy-wise, you also work with Russell Peters.
Right, yeah. Well, Russell Peters, aside from being my best friend, I got to work when Russell. I was with him when all that he started taking off because he's got such a massive audience.
Yeah.
And I got to travel really because of Russell. That's where I started to really travel around the world and see things. And Russell is, he's a phenomenal comedian.
Oh yeah,
and he has such an audience. Like his audience is so big. Like Singapore, India, South Africa. You go to, and I was able to go. And when you open for a superstar like him, they're there to see him. So you're there to support the major act. And I do that with people. I bring them on my show. Yeah. And the fact that you can make his audience laugh is a good indication that you're on the right road. So that helped a lot, actually.
That's a really interesting outlook because a lot of people that will be, I'm under the impression that a lot of people that will be opening for stars, they'll be like, fuck this, that's my time to shine. But that's not the way you look at it. The way you look at it, and it's really interesting, and that's why you're really interesting right now. It's you go like, I have to figure out a way so the guy will shine even more.
Right. Yeah. Well, the way I look at it is that everybody has their time in the sun, right?
Yeah.
So I've many times, if I do shows, even with Frank or anybody else, if there's up and coming, there's an Italian kid in Johnny, I think his name is, in Montreal. And we put him on the show with me and Frank. The night you came and saw us, and he's new, and he had some good stuff, but he's still working at it. And that's when I said to the crowd in Montreal, you support people, you give people an opportunity because that's the only way they're going to get better.
Yeah.
And you're right, Joey. Some people don't want to put certain acts on. So I think. And you're right. Some people may have a different attitude towards it. I'm there, like of course you want to do good because you want them to like your act and bring you back. But at the same time, it's all, some guys, I'm going to go out there and bury the headliner. Like, no. They're there to see the headliner. You look at guys like Sebastian and Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle and Russell Peters. And these are big comics. And I got I got the tour with Vince Vaughn, a Wild West comedy show. So Vince, because of my good friend Ahmed, another great comedian who's Egyptian American, and Ahmed was, I was going to the Middle East. He's the guy that really brought me to the Middle East, and we're doing shows like in Jeddah and Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and Lebanon and Kuwait, Qatar. And countries I would never. Syria, we did shows in Syria. We did shows in Oman. There's so many, I can't remember them all. But, I go with them. So it's interesting how, with Vince, we ended up having a development deal for a sitcom. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it didn't get made, but we had the development deal with CTV and with USA Network in LA. And it's the year that CTV cut everybody. But, I got the tour with Vince Vaughn, who was the biggest comedy star at the time in the world. And he's a huge A-list star. And then you got to work with guys like Bill Burr, Steve Byrne, Ahmed, Faison Love, who's in like the big black guy, who's a good friend of mine. And he's so funny. And we worked, he was in Couples Retreat. And remember in Elf? He played the manager at that's Faison. And he's super. That's him. That's Faison. And with Will Ferrell, he thinks But those are the opportunities that you get. So I've been lucky to have the opportunity to work with a lot of these guys, and I always try to work guys with people who are really good and better because I find that makes you better. When you work with people who are better, it makes you want to do better. That's the challenge in that.
Absolutely. But for example,
I can hear you echo.
Yeah, I know.
If you know, do something about it.
That's what I'm doing. Difficulties. All right, how about now?
Now it's better.
Okay, sorry about that. So, for example, you mentioned, for example, when I saw Gianni with you and Spadone, it actually made me feel when I was in Badfellows and Massimo Canistraro and Guido Grasso, we were at the Rialto. And I'm like, and then Massimo came up to me like a month before, even Sugar Sammy's brother. He's like, hey, do you want to open up for Massimo? I thought they were pulling my leg because I was still into comedy. Like I was still trying to, make myself, better, right? But then I got nervous. I'm like, nah, you guys are trolling me, right? So then Sid's like, hey, Massa wants to go do his headshot. So we had a poster, and then at the Rialto, we were at the basement, right? Where there's like 80 to 100 people, and then I get there and I'm sweating, man. I'm like, holy fuck! Thank God I'm wearing antiperspirant deodorant, And then this one, Guido was mentioning my name. He goes, "This guy, he's an up and comer," and people were just clapping and saying my name. And then I messed up a joke, and then I just rolled it. I'm like, this is fucking great. I'm like, holy shit! Like and this is the 80 to 100 people, and I'm like, I can't imagine how it would be if it's for like a gigantic, bigger theater. I'm like, holy shit! This is what it feels like to actually, feel like I'm on top for like a good 5 to 10 minutes, But
well, I'm good friends with Massimo and with Guido.
Oh,
they're both very funny guys. Massimo does his dad. He forgets his name. Massimo.
Yeah.
Because we go to Sapporo di Napoli there, up in where Guido's, and Guido lived in LA for a while, and I'm good friends with Guido. He's an interesting. They're both interesting characters.
They are.
For sure. Both of them are, but they're both funny. They're good guys.
Oh, they are. They absolutely are. Actually, no, because I was working on another film, Night Shift, with Massimo and Guido, and it's another movie where we won a bunch of awards. And at one point, Massimo's supposed to strangle me, right? So that's how I die. So Massimo's just choking me, but I keep laughing, right? He goes, "Why the fuck are you laughing?" I'm like, Massimo, every time, like we do shorts together, I'm like, one day you're going to get stabbed by Wolverine, and Massimo's going to go, "Fuck yourself." Massimo turns to me and goes, "I'm going to strangle you one day." And then he's fucking on the floor. He goes, "I told you. Now you're making me remember, asshole." You told me. No, it's just good times.
Massimo is like if Gino Vanelli ate a lot. You get think about those nights in Montreal.
Oh man,
it makes me laugh. I see his videos on IG. The guy's hilarious, man.
Oh, he is. I consider Massimo like one of my teachers in comedy, man. Massimo's, because I remember one time he goes, "You know what I do? Yeah, when I'm intoxicated, yeah, don't do that shit. Just be you." And then he's taking like a 6-pack of beer, just chugging it all down. I'm like, all right, duly noted.
Right.
Oh man. So now we're talking about that. So what is your fear in stand-up and film sets? Like, what is like your biggest fear you have? And you're like, oh shit, I hope one day I'm never going to encounter this.
Something fell here. Something weird happened here. I heard something fall. What's my fear?
Yeah.
Not working.
Working?
not working.
Okay.
Well, you know what it is? You always want, guys, I think every performer has the fear. You want to be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
You still want to be part of something, So I think as an actor, you still want to have the ability. And unfortunately, it's an ageism business. So as you get a bit older, you got to try to find different roles that you can play as an actor, unless you're extremely established. Same with comedy. Things are changing because of Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. I think the attention span of a lot of people nowadays is the same as a goldfish. It's about 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So they don't have the attention span So I think my fear, and I think most comedians are comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're comfortable being uncomfortable. Most people, I couldn't get up and talk to people. Like, just give me the mic. I'm going up there. I don't have that fear, But every now and then you can bomb. That's part of the game.
Absolutely.
So any comic, it could be an off joke. The deal is to move on.
Yeah.
But I think it's like right now, I think a lot of people have the same question. People who are in live entertainment, like bands, singers, comedians, theater. I think the fear we're experiencing right now, as we speak on your show, is what's it going to be like when we go back, and when can we go back?
Yeah.
Because everything in a year, things change. You're hot now, and it goes away. So I think realistically, hopefully, we're going to get back to work sooner than later. Because as you know, like guys like Spadone and myself, and even Russell and all those guys. I mean, we're not really doing much right now. And that's the fear we're having right now is when are we going to go back?
No, absolutely. No, there's always that fear. I'm like, oh fuck, because here in Montreal, everything we were supposed to go back like when this week, right? Like actually today, everything was supposed to be opening today, but then our premier extended everything till January 11th, and then I'm like, oh, fuck,
yeah,
that sucks. Well, same here. I know that Vegas opened up. A friend of mine was just working at Brad Garrett's club in MGM, and they just opened it last week. But now they're worried that they may shut down again, and that's a real pain in the ass.
Oh, it really is.
That's the worst though, because what we had is a little break for summer, so we could like do our keep doing stand-ups for the summer, and then everything closed down after they spend hundreds or thousands of dollars for all the plexiglass and everything, so people don't infect each others and that kind of stuff. That was crazy. That was really bad.
Oh,
right.
Absolutely.
Well, look at hockey. Let's look at hockey.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Canadiens, for instance, or any team in the NHL or any sports franchise for that, they're going to play games with no people in the stand. We have the LA Rams. They built a brand new $3 billion stadium for the Rams and the Chargers here in LA, and nobody's gone to a game yet.
Yeah, in hockey, it's not like the money was in TV deals. It's mainly people going to the stadium watching the game. So a lot of those teams are fucked as it is right now.
Right.
Like before the pandemic, they were already fucked, but now without any people, they're fucked. They can't exist. Yeah.
Oh, actually, same thing with wrestling, because we have a podcaster called Jofo In The Ring. You can listen to them at 7 p.m., 7:15 on YouTube Live, and they were saying it for wrestling especially. It's
rough.
It's rough, and I've been.
It's the thing that is the closest to stand up, because the crowd is part of the show.
Big time.
Exactly.
Yeah, big time. So no crowd is.
What are you talking about, brother?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing, brother. I'm coming to Montreal, brother, and I'm gonna rip them apart, brother. I love those guys. They're great actors. They're great actors.
Exactly. Without the crowd, it's just like stirring up people.
They love it.
Giving each other's hug and pretending to hurt each other.
Yeah, no, it's great. No, but I've been watching one. I'm like, oh, this is so rough. I'm like I can just imagine, if Hulk Hogan would talk, and then a referee would, sir, you're talking to an empty crowd. I don't know who you're talking to. Biden 2.0. All right, calm down. Oh man,
they're zooming it now, right? And that's what I'm saying. The big thing about wrestling is the hype.
Yeah.
When the guy goes, shut up, I'm talking right now, shut up. They do stuff, and the crowd goes, oh, he told him to shut up. It's all part of the acting.
Oh yeah.
And then they get, and then they had the, I remember the Rougeau brothers. I used to watch Maple Leaf Wrestling with Carpentier and Don Leo Jonathan and all these guys in Montreal growing up. With the crowd, remember, they would be there and they're screaming and yelling and throwing shit at everybody. That was entertainment, man. And now you're right, Joey. You go now, you're talking into a place or a studio and there's nobody there.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be tough. Can you imagine, like, you have The Rock being like, it doesn't matter, shut up, you folks. And all you have is a janitor, like, cleaning, being like,
yeah, exactly. There's nobody here.
You have two janitors like, oh, I fucking heard this. Can you say something new? You fuck. Stop making a mess.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Exactly.
Oh man, but no, like even film sets now, man. Film sets are crazy. Like I have a friend who's working on a film with Roland Emmerich, and it's just so weird. Like everyone's spaced out. Like you have to do a scene with Halle Berry, and it is so like distant. But they're making the camera as if like editing. They're making it together. Like, but then he goes, you have to really say like, what? I can't hear you. What's right? And then the producer like pulls down his mask, goes, yeah, you're supposed to walk into the room. I can't. We have to respect 6 feet. Yeah. It's just so weird, man.
Well, they're compartmentalizing sets now. So Raphael told me to every person that went on set had to get a COVID test every day when they go on, and they separate you. And then they have the stunt doubles. So, because the big stars don't want to do close scenes with the other actors, they don't want to get sick, right?
Exactly.
So there's a lot of stunt doubles. They have doctors on set. They have medics. You're constantly taking, COVID tests, and you're being compartmentalized. So they're putting you in the zone 1, zone 3. They're moving. You're not. It's not like when I worked on a set, you'd walk around the craft services or whatever,
exactly.
and it was okay. Now that they don't do that now. You got to stay in your area.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't mix in with other people.
Yeah,
and I guess with technology, they can make it look like anything nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Because
I'm wondering how it works with porn now.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. I thought.
Yeah.
How do you social distance porn? Like you're. Like the girl's here, the guy's there, his dick is there, her mouth is. I was just saying.
Yeah, exactly. Only blowjobs are from 2 meters.
I don't know.
So you have the guys watching the wind to make sure the cum doesn't move on other. And it's fire and preparing
what kind of mysterious shots are you talking about? What wind? No, but no. See, man, like in a way, like I want to go on a film set because I'm the kind of guy who walks around and sees actors work. And at the same time, I could go to a buffet bar and steal all the food. But now, apparently COVID, as you mentioned, Angelo, we have to stay in our zones. You know how stupid that is right now? It's the fireman was telling me.
That's how it is.
Oh, man.
And the reason they're doing that, guys, is for insurance. Insurance companies won't cover them if they're not. If there's any evidence that they didn't follow the rules, they don't get insured. And if somebody gets sick, you're talking millions of dollars down the drain. You have to be very careful about it.
And for PR, it's the worst. Can you imagine nowadays you're the asshole that start another wave of COVID?
Forget it.
The worst.
No good. No good at all.
Man. But Frank, Angelo, if you don't mind me asking, are you doing any, any Zoom shows?
I am. We're doing. We're doing on Instagram with Frank Spadone.
Yeah.
Every Monday we do Frank and Ange live. We talk. So it's just the two of us on Instagram, and people jump on and they write stuff when they're on it. And on Wednesdays with two other people, Forti and Adi. One's in Boston, one's in Washington. I'm in LA. We do this thing called Connecting Greeks.
Okay. Nice.
So we have people of Greek descent from around the world. Like a lot of friends in Australia, Canada, South Africa, whatever. And whether there could be an actor or a comedian or a doctor or somebody of notable, so they do something unique, and we're bringing them on. So we're doing Mondays and Wednesdays, and then I love doing stuff like this, like being on the Dirty Four. Even though there's only 3 of us, I don't know where the 4th person is.
Well, he's supposed to be coming on soon, but I'm like, I don't think Angelo's going to stay for like an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Wow. It's like, so right now, you guys, what time is it now there? It's
now it's 8:32 p.m.
8:32, so it's 5:32 in LA. So that's good. There's a 3 hours difference.
You say well for an hour and a half, but usually it's a 2 hour to 2 hour and a half
3
show.
hours. Yeah, exactly.
So you guys go long, right? Yeah, we do like about an hour. With Frank, we do an hour, and on Connecting Greeks, we do between 50 minutes and an hour.
Okay. Okay, no, because this is the thing, because about podcasting, because I find podcasting is you're free to do for running time, right? So if you have 15 to 40 minutes of material, that's cool. But I'm like, you know what? During a pandemic, let's just go on for 3 hours. Not that we're going to do this tonight, but like a little bit more time. But I'm saying, I don't believe there's like a limit to a running time, and
best thing in the world, guys, back scratcher.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
best thing in the world, man. I mean, this is great. I bought it for $1 at the dollar store, and it's the best dollar I ever spent in my life.
Oh,
fucking awesome. And you can scrape up your wife with that also.
Oh, yeah, in the back, it's got the thing scrape in the back.
Scratch your back. If the wife's getting annoying, slap.
Oh no! Sometimes I just smash into a wall multiple times. My mom will think.
I know, like a rhino, you're there, you're gonna wall. But this thing, let me tell you, if you go to any dollar store, the back scratcher, buy it. It's
Oh,
the
in
best
Chinatown,
dollar.
they have some of these.
It's the best
Yeah.
dollar you're ever gonna speak. I can still do a podcast and look, hey, I'm scratching my back, man. Don't miss it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, is Angelo okay? But man, no, but honestly, this is like not to burst anyone's bubbles, but this is actually like this is. I'm gonna admit this is a depressing time. This is but like I hate. To be honest, with you, like I love doing podcasts, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, do I want to meet with the Dirty Four together and do this together? And now like we're all at our
Sure.
homes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, I get it. It's like it's these are trying times, guys, and I think my attitude's been day by day. So people are, when I'm talking to people, they go, how are you coping with things? Day by day. Day by day, right? I mean, that's all we can do. And I think what's really making people unnerving, like we got a new president now,
yeah.
and it's the same problem, though. It's not his fault. It's not like Biden's fault. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he's got to deal with this. And I think when there's uncertainty, people, if they told us, like, January 15th, it's over, our mindset would be different.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
15, it's over, but they're not saying that. Like you said, Montreal's shutting down till January 11. And then what? Do they extend it for another month? Like, you don't know.
Yeah, I've been doing that for the last 2 months, actually. On October, they closed everything down again. And then they say it's going to be for 28 days, and then it never happened. So
Right. So it's like, I think, guys, the reality we're facing now,
yeah,
with this pandemic is the uncertainty of until they get a vaccine.
oh yeah,
And then have you talked to people? They're like, oh no, some of the vaccine, they're going to neuter the population. A third of the population is going to die because that's the master plan. And there's a lot of pot smokers. I'm like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. They're going to neuter the population. Don't take it. They're going to put a chip in you. Bill Gates is the devil. And fucking, Justin Trudeau's father is Fidel Castro. And they're going on and on and on. And I'm like, look, it's making a lot of people fucking nuts.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why we need to do podcasts and entertain people.
But the post smoker that comes with those theories, I feel like they're smarter than me, because when I'm high, I come up with stupid ideas like, yeah, you can get in trouble with drawing Mohammed and Mickey Mouse having sex. You can get sued by Disney. But let's imagine you draw Mohammed getting fucked by Mickey Mouse. How much trouble you can get for that?
Right.
That's the kind of stupid idea I get when I'm high. So I'm almost admiring these guys to come up with all these.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, exactly, right? It's like, I think what's happening, you can't blame people. We're trying to cope. A lot of people, it's economics. They're not working, trying to pay their bills. Other people, it's emotional. Maybe they're alone. If they don't have a pet, whatever, So I think that people, they need outlets. And this is a good outlet. And I think we're at a time now, it's unprecedented, because our generation, or our time being that we've been on the planet, we've never really, in our generation, have had to deal with this.
Yeah, the most major thing that my generation had to deal with, and we're Canadian, so to a lesser degree, it was 9/11.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That was pretty much the extent of it.
But 9/11 had happened. It was a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
For a week, things were fucked up, but
yeah, exactly.
we went back to normal,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember I was auditioning for a film in Montreal. I was in Montreal that day in Outremont at my mom's, and that's the day that 9/11 happened. I was there. And the producers were supposed to come up from New York, and they never did. So, I mean, that kind of shit, you always kind of remember. But it's...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And now, at least, like today, we had a good day today in LA. It was 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It was a nice day.
Ooh.
But I know it gets cold in Canada.
Yeah, so, it's 3 degrees something.
Yeah, 3 degrees. So, I mean, I know November was good, but the problem... And I love Canada, but I hate the fucking cold. So, I mean, it's not like you can go to a patio... in January and hang out a bit. And now, guess what? You can't travel now, for the most part, to the Caribbean. They won't let you go unless some places go. So imagine you're inside, it's cold, and you can't go anywhere. That's where people are going to lose their shit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And then, but hey, you know what? As long as, because Christmas is going to be coming around the corner, as long as you could see 10 people per household, That's all that matters. That's all.
good.
Nah,
Well, let's hope they don't shut that. They're trying to shut that down. It's Thanksgiving here next week,
yeah.
and they're saying only 6 to 8 people per household. So
Well, how are you gonna know? That's the thing, you know. But
well, like, it was always neighbors, and the governor here, Newsom, he had a birthday party at French Laundry, this high-end French restaurant. He had 16, 18 people there. He goes,
there you go.
oh, yes, I made a bad judgment of error.
That every time they say that always sounds to me like let them eat cake.
Yeah, 100%. Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Oh, I had an error judgment. Yeah, fuck off.
Fuck you, error of judgment. Let them eat cake.
What price you're gonna pay for you error of judgment versus me?
Yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't have done it. Yeah, but you did it. Yeah, I know. I didn't know what happened.
What's going to happen with you?
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
It's crazy, but you know what? Like the more I hear about these things, the more I'm like, man, I'm itching for stand up. And for me, I don't know about YouTube, but for me, like I hate doing stand up online because for me, I'm more of a I need to be in person. I tried in the first because we had the first lockdown. Like I did 2-3 Zoom shows, and I'm like, I can't do this.
It's tough. I mean, I've done a couple, 10 minutes, 15. I mean, if they're not responding or listening or they're talking, I mean, this is new. And I think for the first 6 months, comics now, I don't know. I agree. I agree with you, Claudio. I think it's. I mean, let's see. I don't know. Everybody's going, oh, you do comedy. You're doing comedy. You hear people talking. Put that down. Take the dog out. You're doing your jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Try to tell the jokes and the cat. Yeah.
They're doing this. Like you guys are talking. Like, get me a beer. Hey, put that down, Jeremy. Put that down. He's like, fuck.
Ma, don't come in yet. Nah.
Yeah, ma, don't come in. I'm talking.
Even worse, like you don't necessarily control who's getting in. So let's say you have like pedophile jokes, and then there's somebody listening to it in their living room with kids. True stories. I was like, fuck me.
Oh man, no, that's sad. That's sad. But it's fun at the same time, But look, I guess the whole thing is we gotta get used to it because oh shit. Because knock on wood, like I hope we're not gonna survive. I hope we're not gonna go through a third lockdown because this is it's gonna suck if we keep going. But hey,
yeah,
I guess this is gonna be. It does.
It does. When you cannot afford the luxury of being like 16 in the same place without any consequences other than saying I'm sorry, I had a misjudgment.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah. So now I want to go back to because I was looking at your IMDb, Angelo, and there was one series that caught my eye. It was Osteria. I've been following because your work and I've been seeing it. I'm like, that looks really interesting, but I'm like, question is like, is it going to be coming out anytime soon, or can you not reveal any of that information?
You know what? They made me sign an NDA, so it's a non-disclosure agreement. So there's a couple of things that are there, but whenever they give you that kind of a project, you sign off on it.
Yeah.
So the NDA non-disclosure agreement, so we can't even talk about it. Man. I know it sucks, but you can't. There's a few things.
If he ever talks about it.
Yeah, because if you're caught, if they have, and then we're taping this, and you can't really talk. There's a few times where people would ask about stuff, and you're like, yeah, I can't really.
No. It was funny because going back to Mafia Inc., I was filming with Guido, and then there's like 5 extras who took a selfie and tagged the location. So the producer comes in and is like, hey, we have like 80 people here who tagged themselves on film set. And then one person is like, hey, I'm on the set of a mob movie here at Carlton and Laval, and he's singing, you see Dominic DeRosa's in the background. And I'm like, guys, so much for being discreet. And then someone's like, oh, that's what the disclosure agreement is. I can't talk about what I'm doing.
God.
I'm like, oh.
You see, because they don't want, that's what they try to avoid, right? People
exactly
will come down and they'll try to get on set and they're like, fuck, and now you're telling them where it is. And now, Claudio, people aren't doing anything. So they're not doing nothing. They want to go down, maybe get work or get on or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like he was busting my ass, and then you have these people, oh, yeah, bro, man, I'm on a movie, you should come on set. Like, it doesn't work that way,
It doesn't work that way.
Sometimes, I know. So, Angelo, is there are there things you want to plug in? I know you mentioned this before, but where could people follow you?
Well, they can go if they go on Instagram. It's my name, Angelo Tsarouchas, on Instagram. So Angelo Tsarouchas on Twitter. It's at Big Ang Comic, BIGANGCOMIC. They can find me at funnygreek.com. So I put funnygreek.com is my website because if I put Tsarouchas, they can never spell it. So I put Funny Greek. And I'm on YouTube under the same name, and I'm pretty much all the social media stuff.
Nice. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been it. Angelo Tsarouchas, thank you very much, sir. Tonight, I'm just like, oh my God. Like, wow.
Pleasure to Joey and Claudio. Thanks for having me on your show. And
anytime, sir.
Chatting with you guys, and tag me later so I can repost it and tag the stuff later on too.
We will. Thank you, sir.
And day by day, we'll get back at some point in 2024 or something.
Day by day.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. We're gonna stay on a little bit more and do our Dirty Four plugins. Have one more convo, and then that's it. But thank you, Angelo.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Have a great night, sir, or whatever your day is. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Angelo. Bye.
All right.
Well, that was Angelo Tsarouchas, ladies and gentlemen. So you can find him on Instagram. You can find him on YouTube. This guy is just fantastic. Now, thing is, so is there anything else you want to add, Joy?
Nothing much already. I kind of like his stand up. I saw the clip, but I watched a couple of things and I really like what he does.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. Like where he is at his career, and and he's not. It doesn't seem like to have an ego as the extent I see some open micers having.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the way that that's the thing that kind of surprised me a lot with him. It's like when he said that he was basically performing to make shine a bit more the headliner, which is not something I hear often.
No, absolutely no. He's a great guy. He's a great guy, but man, it's rare that we get comedians like that.
So do you want to get going for a while, or just waiting for Peter, or you're done?
It's up to you, man. It's up to you.
It's up to me. Oh shit! If Peter doesn't come, man, I'm almost at the point. Let's fuck it and go home, even if we're already home.
Yeah, no, meaning I'm gonna go to your living room.
Yeah. Okay, fuck off, everybody. Time for me to masturbate.
Exactly. So let's just do our plugins, and then tomorrow night we're back.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, tomorrow night there's gonna be another dirty episode of the Dirty Four podcast.
Meaning that I'm going to be naked. So go on.
Exactly. And we're gonna have Pamela Pagano from Kind Time.
Yes.
She's gonna be on here.
So tomorrow won't be the night where I kill myself, because basically she's going to try to talk me out of it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, when Joey says he's kidding, deep down inside he's not. And then December. Sorry, Joey, what were you saying?
Keep thinking that.
And then obviously December we have some plans. We're going to be possibly doing a francophone night as well, because on Quebec, and I want to improve on my French. And,
he doesn't want to get fined by the OQLF. That's what's going on.
So that's it. So folks, tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m., Pamela Pagano. And Joy, you have anything else you want to plug in?
I have nothing much to plug in. This week I said that for the past 2 weeks, but I'm going to try to post the first episode of the Los Tabarnacos, where you can hear me talk in French, my native language, where I don't look like a stupid when I try to speak English. So that's me and Max Spit talking shit for an hour or so. So that's pretty much it.
Oh shit! Peter did at the right time.
My sister from another mother.
Oh shit! You call me a bitch, man? What the fuck?
Honestly, we're doing our plugins. But we're gonna say honestly, tonight was one of my favorite episodes that we've done.
Oh,
That
nice.
was good. That was
Angelo Tsarouchas is a great guy. Honestly,
shit.
I have nothing but kind words to say about this guy. And my idol. I'm like, so good.
Shit,
So
man.
good.
Yeah, he almost came 2 times. That was like
Three. Where are you going to?
I hear myself again. What's going on, Claudio?
Nothing. I don't hear myself now.
Nah, I hear myself.
No, maybe it's because you're high, man, and you're hearing double.
I'm
man.
not high.
Oh.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, I was like fucking. Oh man, I was doing the podcast with Vance. I was like, okay, dude, I gotta leave early. He's like, all right, cool, man. We were just doing half an hour and call it a day.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about a certain comedian. I don't know if you want me to say it. Yeah, there you go. So he starts talking about Shuri.
I'm an open micer, man. I don't care. Like when everything starts again, I'm going to still be a shit open micer, so it doesn't matter for me.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. He starts talking about Shuri, dude. The guy went off, man. I'm like, dude. So I was like, I look at the time. I'm like, oh, it's 6 o'clock. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I look again. It's like 7:10. I'm like, bro, I gotta go. What the fuck is going?
But
like,
it's great that you're doing a podcast with this guy because I feel like you and Vance, that's a natural fit. Like I kind of watched some moment on the other podcast he's having where he interviewed you.
Yeah.
And that's those parts were really good. The part that I got, but I'd like to spend more time to listen to it.
Listen, like that's what pretty much like. Obviously, I always chill with Vance. Like Vance is cool. But like he was like, oh, dude, I like the energy that. He's like, I like the energy we have. I'm like, yeah. Usually we just talk, we just shoot the shit, and we call it a day. Even if it's not a good episode, like or I would say like it's like there's not enough jokes in there. I would say like not enough jokes, but we're still like just riffing, we're talking. So he's like, fuck it, let's just do the thing together. I was like, yeah, okay, why not? Let's give it a shot.
But to be honest, I'd rather have an episode like weak because we don't have like a lot of jokes than a really weak episode because we were trying to make too much jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, like obviously we want to make it fun for people to listen to, but yeah, I understand you. I understand you 100%.
Because even if it's not funny and we don't have jokes, that we can make it interesting in some way. But if you try to force joke in it, that's going to be cringy for 2 hours.
Yeah. No, like we just want like most of the time we'll try to riff jokes off each other. So he'll say something, I'll say something, and then we'll just we're trying to like bat it up. And so it's like, okay, let's try rapid fire.
That's the dynamic I was expecting.
Yeah, so it was like it's fun. It's fun. Sometimes like, we veer off and we do a thing, and then we just like round jokes. So it's a fun thing to be part of. Like I can't wait.
I'm going to listen more to it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Especially me. I'm so excited about that. The episode's going to come out. I can't
that's it. And then I just remember at the end, I think during the podcast, he's like, you know what? I fucking hate this guy. I know Claudio is going to love this. I fucking hate it. He wouldn't stop, man. I was like, oh,
I watched Matt Shuri like at the Comedy Nest. That was the first night I went there for a weekend show. I didn't play on it because I'm a shit open micer and I'm still learning.
Dude, okay, you know what? I'm going to stop you right there. Every time you go to the Comedy Nest, you always kill the crowd. I don't give a shit what you say.
No, but I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing though.
You were playing. Yeah, but you always kill the crowd at the Comedy Nest. I always seen it. Like you can't tell me like, oh fuck, I'm a shit over Mike. Dude, you killed the crowd every time I've seen you at the freaking Comedy Nest.
Okay. Well, thanks, sir. But what I meant to say is I watched Matt Shuri, and I'm allowed to shit on the guy, by the way. So thanks for the praise. Me and my girlfriend were listening to this guy, and we watched to each other, and like, yeah. So basically, it's nothing against black comedians. Some of my favorite comedians are black. Yeah. This being said, he talks a lot about racism, right? Which it's normal. It's something they live through. Yeah. But this guy, you could have like closed your eyes and you could have told the difference between him and other black comedians that touch those subjects.
Yeah.
That was like another one that talks about it that way.
Yeah. That way, it's just like a simple, like just like a hacky type joke. No, I wouldn't say hacky, but like just like okay, they've been through this topic already.
I'm going to say it was hacky.
No shit, God, because the thing was, like I said, the time that we saw him at Leo, because we were talking about the time we saw him, me and Claudio. Actually, were you there? Yeah, I think you were there. Were you there? No, it was Vicky. Vicky was there. So we were at Leo Clark's show, and then he kept doing the jokes, and I was like, and at first I was like, oh, that's funny, and then he said a joke, and then me and somebody else. He was saying me and Claudio, but I swear it was me and Randy. I think it was. We looked at each other. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that Vance's joke? And then Vance is like, yo, that's my fucking like. Vance is laughing. Then he's like, hey, wait a minute, that's my fucking joke.
Jesus
So
But I
then-
can't imagine how you can get Vance mad. I never saw him getting really pissed or
Oh
upset.
no, I saw today when I was calling
Oh.
Peter called me. When Vance went off, I'm like, yo,
Oh,
I want
fuck.
to be on. I want to be on a like. I want to see what is like what they're gonna say about this guy, man.
If
Oh,
I ever
man.
go on one of his podcasts, I'd be like, Matt Shuri, the two first word coming out of my mouth, just to see him mad once.
That's
I love
Yo.
Matt Shuri. I'm a president of his fan club.
the only one, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like no, it was oh man, he went off, but he was telling, like, he's pretty much just telling like when he went to confront them about the joke. So that's the part I didn't hear. So I was like, okay, what did you say? And he's like, dude, like why are you saying my joke? And he's all like, oh, did we talk about the joke? Like, can you explain a time? But then Vance told me earlier he'd done the joke at the Comedy Nest.
Yeah.
And then Shuri went up to him and was like, oh, you know what you should do? You should change this part of the joke. Change this part of the joke.
Motherfucker. Okay.
And then he just took the whole fucking joke and then he started ripping it. And I was like, holy.
that
Ah,
fucking ass.
So then, so pretty much he's like, you know what? You tell Claudio, was like, yo, I was like, sure, you don't do those jokes when I'm there, and I won't do that joke if you're there. Just knowing the fact that he's not going to do the fucking joke at all because he doesn't know what I'm going to show. But I'm like, yeah, that's so freaking. But I was telling him the funniest part of that night was that he did that joke, and I was like, oh shit, he took Vance's joke. Then he did another joke, and then Hasher freaking takes the phone out. He goes, it shows me the joke on Reddit, and it's word for word. I was like, holy shit. And then he does another joke at the end, and then somebody else, I think it was Randy or somebody's all like, man, that's a fucking hilarious joke. Wherever you got it from.
oh, man.
I was like, oh shit. Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, it really was. Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. But look, so let's just do a plug-in. We could talk about more about this tomorrow night because tomorrow night is going to be kind time. And you know what?
Yeah.
All this
Yeah,
negative-
We're
here,
not
I'm
gonna
here.
be kind with Matt Shuri, so
Yeah,
that's going to be a roast.
Pagano's going to tell you to be kind and smile.
3 hours of us shitting on Matt Shuri while you'll have like Pamela Pagano being like, "Let's be kind, guys." Hi. Yeah, watch a couple of our video.
Yeah, I'm watching. I was watching a bit of Tsarouchas today, but I was like, oh shit, I was getting ready for it, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't even get on.
But you know what? Just watching his fucking comedy is good
yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I'm like, oh cool. I'm like, whatever. Next time I'll freaking. But like the kind time, okay, I'm home all day, so I'm ready for it, man.
No. It's
going to be interesting.
It
It's
is
gonna
very
be
interesting.
Well, I'm not gonna like rip her apart, be like, yo, fuck you, no. But I'm like, I'm gonna.
Nah. Don't.
Yeah, but I'm gonna talk to her and then be like, I'm gonna see like what motivational influence. It's gonna be. It'll be an interesting episode.
Yeah, that's why I fucking hate like nice people like that because you cannot be angry at them because they're too nice.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be angry, but I'm not gonna be angry. But
once in a while.
Oh, definitely, no. Like there's the dark side. I'm gonna get that dark side out of her. I'm gonna be like, yo, where's this dark side at?
I'm sure you never wanted to beat somebody up or kill him or Johnny like Lawrence.
All right, so guys, tomorrow night we'll be back here at 8:30 with Pamela Pagano.
Yes.
And folks, thanks to everyone who's tuning in just around all the way from Australia. The Ange TV show, Jofo In The Ring, which you can catch them at 7:15 p.m. All the links are at the bottom for Angelo Tsarouchas, Jofo In The Ring, and also Fatal Switch. David Vigliotti from Fatal Switch made an awesome theme song for us. We'll be playing that in December. And
nice.
Folks, that's been our episode. More tomorrow night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Dirty Four podcast. See you all tomorrow night. Have yourselves a good night.
Have a great night, folks.
Have a good one.